Well, this certainly doesn't look like the Sengoku should die, period. I mean, the obvious giveaway is that Cao Cao is there. What's up, everybody? This is Spirit Rosa, and yeah, we're not playing Samurai Warriors 4 DX today. I figured because that game has online multiplayer, it would be really cool if I could incorporate a co-op commentator for that particular Let's Play. So instead of doing Samurai Warriors 4 every day until we finish it, that's going to be on hold until I can record some parts with my friend Druid. For now, I figured let's replace that Let's Play with a different Let's Play that will probably be uploaded every single day, for the most part, hopefully. This is Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires, another Warriors game, and surprisingly enough, one that I haven't actually played before. Well, technically I haven't done a full playthrough of it. I have played at least 4 hours, and even then it was only like 2 hours in total of a gameplay session back when the game came out in early 2022. And then I immediately put the game down because I had other games that I wanted to play at the time. As well as games that I wanted to live stream for my channel. So I never managed to get back to this game until today. I figured now would be the best time to get back not only into the Warriors franchise, Dynasty included, but also just Dynasty Warriors 9 in general. Because, funnily enough, Dynasty Warriors 9 was the first ever game that I live streamed for my Twitch channel, which is now unfortunately debunked, but I prefer YouTube nowadays. But yeah, it was the first game I played for Twitch. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it was Shin Megami Tensei 1, but that's besides the point. Dynasty Warriors 9 was the game that really got me into live streaming. So I figured, why not Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires be sort of like a bookend to that. So today we're going to be doing a blind playthrough of Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires. I have played Empires games before, so I know what I'm getting into, but for the most part, the mechanics and the overall experience of this game is going to be somewhat new to me. I know some things because, again, I played like a total of 2 hours of a playthrough, but other than that, not really much. And as per usual with my Dynasty Warriors Empires experience, which I've never recorded for my channel, but I played extensively on my own time, I have created a surplus of original characters. Not as much as I did for Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires, which I am also planning on doing a series eventually, but I managed to make my character Spirit in the best way possible. This game incorporates, I believe, the Neo character building system, so you have a very extensive facial feature customization here, more extensive than any other Warriors Empire games, in my opinion. I like the facial reconstruction in this game. The only downside is the fact that we don't get many costumes in this game. We get a total of like 10 armor and clothing pieces, and this is probably the best I could get for Spirit. Certainly not the best, but I may do with what I can get. As for the character weapon and the character Muso, I have decided to choose Zhang Chunhua because, one, I use Zhang Chunhua's weapon and style in Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires, even though in that game she used the wire gloves. In this game she uses the steel whip sword, otherwise known as the Urumi, but also because she's probably my favorite moveset out of Dynasty Warriors 9 original version. Except for Genji. I like Genji, but the problem with Genji is she's a little feminine with her flute, and also Spirit isn't really a musician, although my Final Fantasy XIV character, Zippy, is a bard slash dancer, so I guess Genji would fit, but I prefer Zhang Chunhua at the end of the day. So with that said, that is my settings on the right. Did not choose a family, although apparently I could. Huh. I actually completely forgot that you could choose a family member in this game. Can I... Where do I even choose that, I wonder? I'm actually kind of curious because I don't remember that at all. Well, you can see all of my settings here in case you're interested in. Not all of them, but for the most part, most of them. Yeah, for some reason it's not showing up. Maybe it's in abilities? No. Maybe it's something that you select after, right as you completed your character. Well, again, be that as it may. We're just gonna go with this for now. I also have a couple of other customized characters, some based off of my friends, like Revan and Scar and Druid, and as well as Miles, you know, residential people who come to my channel every now and then and commentate. Some of these guys are original characters for my friends, Baladon specifically, male and female version, Lightning Firefox, a OC of Scar. Obviously, as any customizable character game, I always gotta make my significant other Tinsel. And also, I gotta make my original OCs that I make for every single Warriors Empires game. Ursula Zanza, a traditional female character that I constantly make. Unfortunately, doesn't have the goggles in this game like I usually give her, but the glasses are better than anything else. And Sal Tanazan, another character that I usually make. Again, these are mainstays for my customizable characters in these games. When we eventually play 8 Empires, you'll probably see them there. And you can actually make a lot of customizable characters in this game. About as much as 8 Empires gave you. You could basically make an entire game faction comprised of them, although unfortunately you can't customize a faction in this game, unlike other Empires games. But I've already figured this out. Once I complete my blind playthrough of this game, I may eventually do another playthrough of Empires, where instead of playing as Spirit, which we're going to be doing for this playthrough, I can probably play as one of you guys who are probably watching right now, my fans slash viewers. Eventually, I'll ask for you guys to submit a character, I can create your character, and then I could probably do like a raffle to figure out, okay, who am I going to play for this playthrough? I think that would be pretty fun, honestly. But again, for today, we'll be doing a story mode comprised of Spirit and his adventures throughout the Three Kingdoms era. Now, unfortunately, I did try to record this beforehand, I believe yesterday, actually, at the time of this recording. But unfortunately, the recording didn't actually go through, so I am restarting it. And, I mean, to be fair, good thing that I'm restarting because I hung on this particular screen for a very long time. I was trying to decide which scenario I was going to go with, ultimately deciding to go with a historical scenario instead of just randomly generated scenario with every single character in the entire game. We'll be starting with the Yellow Turban Rebellion, the first historical event in the Three Kingdoms era. During the end of the later Han, the land was in chaos due to the power struggle that had erupted within the imperial court, and the people were suffering as a result in this period of turmoil. A man by the name of Zhang Jiao, who had been leading the way of peace, instigated what would become to be known as the Yellow Turban Rebellion. In response, the imperial court established a punitive force and volunteer corps to make efforts to quell the rebellion. And as you see here, these are all the forces color-coded specifically so that you can follow them. We have people such as Zhang Jiao, who has instigated a rebellion to the northeastern side of China here with the yellow area. We have people such as Dong Zhuo and Yuan Shu, who are very important figures in this time. Meng Huo, who, despite being a part of a tribe, has accumulated a lot of land to the south. Gong Sun Zan and Liu Biao, a lot more people who, again, will be important later on in the time of this story. I should also make note that Dynasty Warriors, as opposed to Samurai Warriors, which is based off of the Sengoku Jidai period of ancient Japan, Dynasty Warriors bases itself off of the Three Kingdoms era of ancient China. So we have the Chinese map right here, with the date starting at 184 AD and going all the way up to 228 and further than that. And as you can see, the War of the Three Kingdoms definitely led the land to be united under a lot fewer banners than what was originally shown at the beginning. Like, for instance, you have the tail end of the era where it's only Cao Rui, Sun Quan, Liu Shan, the Cao Wei, Sun Wu, and Liu Shu kingdoms. And then you have Gongsun Yuan in the north being just the outliner. I sometimes forget that at this point in the time, Gongsun Yuan rebelled against Cao Wei and decided to instigate his own kingdom. Plot twist, it doesn't work very well for him. But yeah, we'll be starting with the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Now, I debated on this for quite a while. I've figured, why not go at the hardest difficulty in this game? And the reason for that is, original Dynasty Warriors 9, it was unfortunately very easy in any difficulty that wasn't hard or chaos. Even hard mode was actually pretty easy. It wasn't until they eventually added an update that incorporated chaos and eventually ultimate and Muso difficulties. Yeah, that game had 7 difficulties after the updates and DLCs were over with. But yeah, Chaos and above were actually decent in terms of difficulty, even if all it really did was cause the enemy officers to be really spongy and also deal a lot of damage to your character. At least it was something. We're going to keep officer deaths on. We're going to keep all of these things on specifically, although I probably should auto-assign off. No, because if I turn that off, all of our original characters won't be assigned anywhere. Swap generic officers. I could turn that off, and possibly this off as well. Yeah, I think I'll turn that off, just so we don't swap out important characters for our OCs. And with that, we can now choose our designated character that we will be playing the campaign with. We can either play as the leaders of each region. Specifically, these are the leaders at the moment. Dong Zhuo, Huang Gai. Well, actually, Huang Gai isn't a leader. I guess it just chooses who had a story mode at this point in the story, even though I'm pretty sure Meng Huo didn't start this early. Yeah, I guess it's just whoever is a playable officer and whoever also is alive at this point. So most of these characters, even though Cao Cao isn't apparently there. The Emperor is Zhang Xiao? Okay, that shouldn't be right. I think the Yellow Turbans are specifically, they work a little bit differently. We have the rulers currently who have ruled their own jurisdictions. We have some generals, and that's pretty much it for the recommended officers. Now we have all of the Muso officers who are technically alive at this point in the game. Although if I go all the way down, yeah, Shahoba. We have characters who technically shouldn't be alive at this point, who for some reason are walking around as fully fledged adults, because Shahoba isn't even born yet. Consequently, I'm pretty sure Wang Yi is also not supposed to be here if we can find her. Yeah, no, Wang Yuanji. That's who I was thinking of. Wang Yi is someone completely different. But yeah, Wang Yuanji, definitely not supposed to be alive at this point either. Didn't mean to press that. But yeah, we can choose any other character from there, or we can go with the character that we want to, as Spirit Rosa. Now, unfortunately, this is kind of an unfortunate thing. The game automatically puts you in a location. You can't actually choose the location as far as I know. So unfortunately, in order to get to the same location that I started at the beginning, in the last recording session, I'm gonna have to constantly reset this over and over again. And I believe it's in the area to the right of where Spirit is currently at on the map, and it's down. So we need to get to that location. This'll take a while. I may have to edit this out. Oh my gosh. Okay, finally! We finally got the location. That took about like 3 minutes to constantly reset, and it wasn't giving me this location, but it certainly gave me Menghuo and Gongsun Zan's region a lot. So we're gonna be starting in Xiapi, all the way to the right over here. Also, I didn't get to hear what Spirit said. Yeah, so he has a calm voice registered to him, which is going to lead to some interesting dialogue options. Alright, so this is going to be fun. I love me some Empires games. Alright, there's no English dub, so unfortunately I'm going to have to voice this. The land in chaos due to the power struggles that erupted within the Imperial Court. Repeat natural disasters and poor harvests had aggravated the suffering of the people. I'm also going to have to read very fast. In this period of turmoil, a man by the name of Zhang Jiao appeared. He began to teach the way of peace in Ji province and brought help to the common people, winning their hearts almost immediately. Then, in the year 1804, he rises up in a revolt against the imperial court. His yellow turbans rose up in every district across the land, even though in the map it says it's only 3 districts. History would later refer to this as the Yellow Turban Rebellion. The imperial court unsuccessfully tried to suppress them, but is defeated. The fate of the 40-year-old Han Dynasty is about to be decided. By the way, that is a mistranslation. It is supposed to be 400-year-old Han Dynasty. Even in the original 9, they say 400-year-old. I don't know why they made that mistake. We just met, and now we are exchanging oaths of brotherhood. So comes things in life. They're just meeting. Some people might call it fate. Wow, this goes really fast. Some would call it a bond between people. Is that so, Zhang Fei Avian? Call me Fei. We're going to be brothers. So let's not be formal, brother. You know what? I think he has a point. Well then, let's have a drink. Let's go meet Tai Chi. I remember the English dubbing of this scene, and oh my gosh, these characters sounded so bad. So yeah, I have some mixed opinions about 9. I remember back in the day, I said I really liked Dynasty Warriors 9, despite knowing that it had a lot of flaws. I compared it to the Sonic 06 of Dynasty Warriors games, and I still stand by that point. Although one thing I will say is that the models and the textures for the models are really beautiful, even looking back now. Of course, it was a 2019 game. There were definitely other games that looked way better than this, but I think it looked pretty decent. One of my biggest critiques about the graphics, though, is the overworld, and also the pop-in. The overworld is so empty and barren. Like, look at those trees in the back. They should not look like that. Okay, so this is Tao Qian. So this is where I started yesterday when I did my failed recording. Cao Bao. I specifically mentioned that it was kind of ironic that I started in Tao Qian's territory, even though completely forgetting that he starts in Xiapi. Because Tao Qian is sort of an enemy to Cao Cao, a character and force that I relatively love. I'm a huge Wei fan. Also, yeah, this is the moment where I realized that Spirit has a very weird personality. One that I did not see coming. We'll have them licking our boots in no time. The fuck, Spirit? Listen, you may be me, but I don't know what you clearly are into. So yeah, as a Wei fan, it's kind of awkward that I'm starting with the force that will eventually be an enemy to the guy that I actually like a lot. So, sorry Cao Cao, don't know what I'm gonna do about this in the long-running future. But until then, we are stuck in Xiapi. Now, as per usual with Warriors games, you start out as a unaffiliated common officer. It is your job to eventually unite the land or live how you see fit. Once one force eventually unites the entirety of China, that's when the game usually ends. And you kind of want to make it be either you or your force. So we have many options at the beginning of the game. We can either work for ourselves to eventually build up enough funds to raise our own banner, or we can join a current residence, a current region, and become an affiliated officer to a lord. We could potentially work for Tao Qian right now. Heck, we could even go and work for the Yellow Turbans and potentially have them win and effectively alter history for what would be considered the betterment of the people? Question mark? Depends on how you feel about the Yellow Turbans. Because now that we've, because of the fact that we're playing through a historical scenario, things are going to play out as historically accurate as possible until history starts to divide and become something that we can't, unfortunately, control anymore. So pretty soon we're going to have the Yellow Turban Rebellion be instigated, as well as all of the regional lords vying for the destruction of the Yellow Turbans. So if we join them, we're probably going to have to face a lot of battles. But for now, because I never played this game, I actually don't know what I can do. So this game has, of course, the shop. We can purchase arrows, gems that we can equip onto our weapons, which we don't have any gold, so we can't even purchase anything at all. The only thing we can really do right now is domestic affairs. We can fundraise to get some gold, as well as some other things that I don't know about. Procure rations, so we can get some supplies for the upcoming battles. Or we can pillage, which will lower our overall morality, but will increase things significantly. We'll be seen as more of a destructive force, unfortunately, but, you know, depending on how you want to play this, you can pretty much do anything you want. We can theoretically invade, but we can't technically do that because we're unaffiliated. I'm thinking for now, we either fundraise or we do some sort of battle, although unfortunately it seems like we can't really do a battle. Oh right, this game had the ability to have you stroll around the overworld. Because of the fact that Dynasty Warriors 9 was an overworld game, or an open world game, they incorporated it into this game by having you go all around the overworld to meet up with officers. So we could theoretically go all around the regions. We could technically go to Hanzhong and meet up with Fa Zheng and possibly get him into our force. Or whatever it is our force is at the moment. That would be very interesting. And there are a lot of characters who technically shouldn't exist at this moment. I believe this game also incorporated the marriage system as well as the sworn brother system, so if I want to marry a specific character, I should probably visit them as much as possible. Unfortunately, I don't see Genji here. Genji is not around, so we're going to just do the basic domestic affair. Let's fundraise so we can gain some more gold so that we can actually buy some stuff. And we also have some reputations here. Okay. No battles took place. That was a day of nothing. Alright, and we go through each month doing stuff. There are no invading kingdoms, so the Yellow Turban Rebellion hasn't actually started yet. Now, one thing I'm not really sure of is if there are missions in this game. There doesn't seem to be any missions that we can do. I am going to have to keep an eye out on this list, though, in the event that we find characters that I want to interact with. At the moment... Wait a minute, he shouldn't even be around at this point. Ah, whatever. I've already confirmed that this game doesn't really care about officer life cycles. So people technically aren't going to die when their time is technically up. That's one thing that Romance of the Three Kingdom does a lot, but unfortunately, Empire's games really don't. Oh, look at that! Scar, Revenfox, and Druid are now on the map, as well as Tinsel, Miles, Paladon, and wow, literally all of my characters. Yeah, there's Ursula Zanza and Sao Tanazan. Scar ended up in Changsha, Revan in Zhaoji. Druid ended up in Jianye, which is, I believe, south of us. Ling Ling. Okay, so Tinsel is in Ling Ling. I should probably get him eventually. We could go for Diao-chan as our significant other. I'm trying to, like, think ahead. Who do I want my significant other to be in this game? I was thinking either Zhenji or Xin Xianying. But I also really like the concept of having Li Dian in our party, especially since he has a DLC weapon that I've never used before. So for the sake of this, let's go to Puiyang and try to see if we can recruit Li Dian into our party. I remember doing this once when I was playing this game for the first time. I tried to get Zhang Bao into my party, or basically into my force, and I think I did, but it took a while. So we need to get to Puiyang. How do I zoom out? Oh, like that, okay. So if I remember correctly, where is Puiyang supposed to be? Zhuchang. Alright, it gives me officer info. Ah, right there. There's Li Dian. Within Puiyang, so it's just north of here. Set destination, so we should be there soon. Although we could fast travel there if we really wanted to. Select an officer to interact with or recruit. Oh, okay, so we can just look at the entire list right here. Alright, so let's compare. Tinsel is all the way at here in, I believe, Ling Ling. So it's very much south. Wait. Right here. Yeah, okay. Also, Fen Shi is apparently there as well. So more than one officer, it seems. Druid is in Jianye, just past the Jiangshe River, or Jiangye River. I keep forgetting which river this is. I believe this is the Yangshe River? I keep forgetting the names. It's been a long time since I've done research on the Three Kingdoms era, so I don't exactly remember everything. Oh, wait a minute. Is Scar also in Ling Ling? No, actually, I think... Yeah, Tinsel is right next to the same town that Scar's at. Okay, so... if they can stay in the exact locations, we can eventually pick them up there. For now... Wait, did I see a Gongsun? Gongsun Shu. I believe that's supposed to be Gongsun Yan's brother? Gongsun Yuan's brother? Or Gongsun Zan. Gongsun Zan. I keep forgetting the specific Gongsuns. There's a lot of Gongsuns in the north. Right, I specifically wanted to go for Li Dian, though. I better join the fray. Okay, so we can automatically interact with them. We don't even have to go to the overworld. Interesting, interesting. Start up a dialogue and build up a relationship. We have one of those feet motions. And I'm guessing it gives us 5 camaraderie. I really need to look up some sort of, like, chart that tells me what these icons actually mean. Now it gives us a check mark, a 42% check mark. Invite officers to form a vagrant force. Head to the location of the officer. Alright, so we can look at Li Dian's information. He is level 12. Yeah, so it costs us literally nothing to go to Li Dian. So I'm thinking we head to him right now. Also, I just noticed at the top right, we have 3 of those feet motions, so I guess we can only perform 3 actions? Okay, music suddenly started. Interesting, interesting. I'm wondering, can we change the music? We can change the music, okay. Field. Oh, this must have been something that I played. Remove all. There we go. Or not. Oh, alright. The music just needed some time to reset. So we also have Lightning Firefox here, one of Scar's characters. Gauduo. So it all depends on who I want in my party at the end of the day. I met a rugged-looking man by a bonfire, east of Puyang. We got talking. He's not a... Okay. I guess they go through their dialogue really fast. He's not a bad guy. If you ever saw how he looks, you'll never forget. I forgot there's like an auto advance in this game. Should probably turn that off. Especially since there's no English dialogue here. Alright, Lee Dion in his resting attire, it seems. I don't sense any end to this conflict, and nothing will change it if I just stand around. So we can invite to form a vagrant force or start up a dialogue to build relationship. No matter what, we're going to spend one of our movement options. So I'm thinking we build a relationship with him and then try to get him into our force. So are we gonna get like a cutscene where we interact with each other? Oh yeah, we do! Everything here looks delicious. This is quite a feast they prepared for us. I like how while I was speaking as Lee Dion, I had my finger on my forehead because I could just imagine Lee Dion doing that all the time. He's the type of character who likes to think a lot, and I believe his characterization is that he constantly gets premonitions on whether things are going good or going bad. Starting a meal, or sharing a meal, increases your companionship level with Lee Dion. We are now at D rank. So now that we're at D rank, Lee Dion, you want the D? If we invite him to our force, I'm guessing that that blue percentage is the percentage chance of him joining our force. So if we do it now, we have a 62% chance of him joining us. I'm thinking it's worth trying, although, what is this? Oh gosh, that sign has really low textures apparently. Puyang, we can look up officers apparently? To call to the signpost. Oh, okay, we can call officers to us. In the event that there's no officers that are actually around that we want to interact with, we can just call them to our side. So we have Yue Jin, Lee Dion, and Eugene, 3 Wei officers. As well as Man Chong. I completely forgot about Man Chong. Sometimes I forget that he's a character in this game. So if we want to switch out these characters, we can. Alright, that's good to know. That's good to know. Alright, well for now, let's see if we can invite him to our party. It's a 62% chance, but we might as well try. You'll have to wait until next month to try again if you are refused. I sense something sparkling in you. You won't reject my invitation, will you? Gosh, I sound so sly and snivelly. I thought I might be receiving an invitation sooner or later. It is a pleasure to know you. Wow, immediately Lee Dion joins us. And with that, we altered history. Lee Dion will not join Cao Cao's force unless we effectively join Cao Cao. And Yue Jin will no longer have his boy toy. So now that he's joined our force, what can we do with him? We'll follow you around and fight beside you. You must have a companionship level of C or higher to have an officer accompany you. Yeah, so you can have officers accompany you throughout the overworld and battlefield, and you can do, like, random stuff with them. Unfortunately, again, we don't have the ability to do that just yet because his friendship level isn't high enough. We'll have to build that up as time goes on. Also, Dynasty Warriors 9, the game where random common folk are the most powerful walls in existence. So let's see, is there any shops around here? There in fact is. I know in Dynasty Warriors 9 you get like horse shops or gem shops all over the place, but it seems like there's only really one shop in Empires in each town. So we can purchase some arrows or we can purchase some gems. Let's get started on some gems. Ooh, we have a thunder gem. Okay, let's equip some stuff that we have right now, if we can. Player info, equipment. Bronze artifact can be fitted to common weapon and bows, non-element gem effectiveness plus 40%. Valor gem, merit plus 28%. All elements level plus 1. Okay. So I guess we can't equip gems to our weapons anymore? Huh. It's only on ourselves now. Interesting, interesting. Our merit is 28%. The problem is I don't know what our merit does in this game. Does it increase our popularity? I'm going to guess that's the case. So with that said, what would ultimately be better? Trigger attack plus 5%. Defense plus 2%, health plus 1, special attack damage plus 2%, and lightning level plus 1. We can give ourselves the lightning element, which is usually the best element in these Warriors games, except for ice element. Ice element is usually the best if you want to freeze opponents and make sure they can't attack you. But in terms of overall damage, I think thunder element is probably the way to go. We can also just equip any weapon we want. We just won't have access to the specific Muso and EX attacks that these weapons have. We're going to stick to the Whip Blade, though, because it is our designated weapon. Title settings. Common Officer. Okay, so we can unlock more titles if we wanted to. Secret Plan Acquisition. So, titles seem to give us bonuses, but the problem is Common Officer doesn't give us a bonus. Ah, okay, here it is. Mighty Officer. Acquirable Secret Plan Inferno. So conditions, we need to be level 2 in weaponry, I'm guessing? Oh, those were the stats that showed up at the end of the month. So if we get higher stats, we can effectively equip these titles to increase our stats even further, and potentially decrease stats that we're not using. Fascinating, fascinating. There's no Wild Rose, okay. Oh, Dongbai only. So there are certain titles that only specific player characters can get. Kind of a shame. I would have loved to have gotten the Wild Rose. What is the best title for non-player characters? Insidious Wile, Guileful, Sage Notion. Yeah, these level 10 ones seems to be the best, but can't really get them until I'm level 10, so. Secret plans. Ah, okay, here's where the strategies come in. So we can equip plans that we can use in the middle of battle, and they can alter the events that happen. So we can do a flame attack. We can temporarily increase our own attack strength and fill a secret plan gauge for plans not in use. So they have a recharge mechanic. Make camp. Slowly restore own health for a period of time. Alright, so a healing move. Army coordination. Temporarily nullify own army affinity. So do we have any other ones? We have Inferno and Dianwei Slash. Flame attack. So, literally the same as Incinerate, except it's moderate. This one costs 3, Inferno costs 4. Dionway Slash. Slash attack, effect moderate, fill Muso gauge, effect low, and reduces own health. Oh, that fits for Dionway. I can see why it's called that. We're going to switch out Incinerate for Inferno, and... temporarily nullify own army affinity. I'm going to get rid of that, because I'm not really sure about the whole affinity thing just yet. And we're going to equip Dionway Slash. Oh, so we can just equip stuff, apparently. Alright, that's good to know. We can also change our emotes, apparently. Yeah, 9 had this weird update near the end of its life cycle where they added the ability to use emotes. And, you know, granted, 9 got this update early on that added online multiplayer, so that was honestly pretty cool. It's just a shame that it really... 9 just had a bad reputation, and unfortunately it never really recovered from it, as sad as it was. Again, I like the game, but I can understand why people didn't like it. So we have Li Dian here. He doesn't really have anything else. Yeah, we can't equip anything for him, it seems. So I'm thinking this part is probably just going to be the introductory part. We're probably not going to do any battles in part 1 of this Let's Play. Especially since I don't really think we can do battles. I also just noticed something. The horse doesn't have a stamina meter, so we can just constantly rush with the horse, it seems. Alright, so if I remember correctly, we can run into some random enemies if we just continue on the world map. Also, yeah, see what I mean by the pop-in? Yeah, this is still running off of the Dynasty Warriors 9 engine, so it's unfortunately still has all the issues that the game originally had. Okay, so is there any way I can interact with this? Okay, so in the original game, you can interact with these stones and it will unlock the map for you. Waymarker. What can I do with waymarkers? I guess they're just here in this version. Yeah, even though it has like an icon over it. Yep, doesn't really seem to do anything. But I did notice that there are a couple of wild animals around here. We have a couple of wolves, some deer, and a couple of livestock. So if we wanted to, we could go over there and try to hunt. I have my bow at the ready. I remember how to use the bow. And no other buttons, it seems. Just trying to figure out like what I need to press. All right, so let's remember how this game works. We have our basic attack. Zhang Chunhua has the special follow-up attack if you just attack normally. So just constantly spamming the X button is actually pretty good for this particular weapon. We have the trigger attacks. Launch, stun, special, and knock down. So we can press any of the directional action buttons to do this stuff. We can also charge them to make it extra strong, and it will sometimes change our attack. Sometimes we can go into the air. Sometimes it will effectively alter our overall normal attack. And we have our special, which charges for a small amount of time, but does a really big attack. Yeah, and it's charging at the moment. And we also have our Musa, which we can't charge in this game. Alright, so let's go get some hunting done. There should be some deer somewhere around here. Hmm. Ah, there they are. Alright, gotta be careful. These little buggers can see me a mile away. It also doesn't help that I'm using the analog stick and it's really difficult to aim with the analog stick. Fuck it, just shoot everywhere! Oh, would you look at that? That's a lot of enemy officers. Or just enemy grunts. I didn't even realize there were so many grunts over here. What the fuck? Just kill them all. Kill them all. Kill them all before they see me. Alright, I think they saw me. Alright, screw this. I'ma kill y'all. Chaos mode, bitches. No battle music for some reason. Oh, there we go. I was wondering where the battle music was. Okay, as long as we don't have any enemies behind us, I think we'll be fine. I also gotta remember that I can counter enemies with the Y button whenever it shows up. And I can also, like, triple jump for some reason. That was an item that you had to get in the original game in order to do that. I believe you can jump infinitely. So I think that's pretty cool that they incorporated it in the game to where you don't actually need the item. You can just do it at the beginning, just naturally. Alright. Got my Musa ready? Be quiet. Yeah. I love that animation. Zhang Chunhua is one of those characters that is supposed to be, you know, she's the female character. She's the female wife to the maniacal strategist Sima Yi, who is usually portrayed as being extremely cunning and sly and conniving. And of course, his wife would also be as equally terrifying, both historically and in the games. So it makes sense for her to have this sort of, like, dominating animation for her Muso deck. I personally really like it. It also helps that she had, like, my favorite weapon in Dynasty Warriors A, which was the Wire Claws. Oh, okay, these guys can still hit me pretty hard. Gotta be careful. You should not underestimate the random officers, especially when they have wolves on their sides. Jesus Christ, why do they have wolves? That's a good kid. I'll take good care of you. It also helped that Zhang Chunhua had some really fun dialogue lines. Okay, let's use the counter ability. As long as I continuously guard, I should be fine. Okay, maybe not when I'm fighting the wolves. The wolves are a bit of an issue. Yeah, these wolves are a bit concerning because they can just attack me and take me out of my normal attacks. I may have bitten off a little more than I could chew. I may have made a little too much dinner for tonight. I mean, makes sense considering I was trying to hunt some deer. This is going to hurt. I have played enough Dynasty Warriors 9 to understand the mechanics. Also, it's kind of weird to see an insta-kill on nameless mooks. That's usually reserved for officers. which is probably why I'm so used to just being able to kill these guys really easily. These nameless mooks are actually proving to be a bit of a challenge. They're providing me with a decent challenge. But yeah, I feel like this game takes the complaints from Dynasty Warriors 9 original and sort of tries to make it a little better. Like, yeah, it's still the same Dynasty Warriors 9, the same gameplay and trigger system, but I feel like it's a little more entertaining just for the fact that normal enemy mooks are as challenging as actual officers. Then again, I am playing Chaos Mode, so my enjoyment of the game might be a little skewered, just due to the fact that I really like games that are difficult, especially Warriors games. Yeah, let's take out these guys, and then we'll probably move on. Because contrary to belief, this isn't an actual battle. We're just fighting random bandits in the middle of nowhere. I just decided to go hunting for some deer, and suddenly, an army of bandits showed up. Usually doesn't happen. That's a good combo right there. Normal flow attack followed by my Muso. And the Muso only lasts for a short amount of time so that my gauge doesn't go all the way down to 0. That was an interesting pose that Spirit just did there for a second. It was like sideways in the middle of the fucking air. Okay, I'm starting to get a little overwhelmed. Get into the air, please. I'll take good care of you in the air. Okay, I was thinking those were a lot of wolves in the trees over there, but thankfully it's just another. It's just a bunch of another victim. It's just a bunch of normal human mooks. Honestly, the wolves are way more dangerous than normal humans. I am really enjoying this. Despite the fact this is 9, I didn't hate the gameplay mechanics. Again, I found some fun in it. I enjoyed the little challenges that they added in updates and DLCs. And for the most part, Dynasty Warriors 9 was at the very least an enjoyable game for me. I know it wasn't a very good game, but it was still enjoyable. I can still appreciate Warriors games and still find fun in them. Mostly due to the fact that I play these as, you know, games that are usually seen as mindless fun. Mindless fun with modes that are still challenging. Alright, considering those moves aren't really coming to me, I think we'll probably call it here. Oh, especially since there's a bunch of wolves over there to the left. Oh, wait, these guys are coming to me. Alright, well, I have no choice but to fight them anyways. Let's hope I can get the wolves! Oh, I managed to actually grab someone with that. I don't think I can grab the wolves and put them into a dominating pose. As entertaining as that would be. The wolf just suddenly becomes like anthropomorphic or bipedal. Sweep them into the air. We are getting a lot of gold from this though. Well, not a lot, but a decent amount. Enough to make this little excursion at the very least worth doing. Yeah, considering Spirit, like, does, like, a big whipping motion like that, you can definitely tell this weapon was reserved for a female. I still like it, though. Oh, they got me into the red. Joke's on you, I get Musos much faster that way. And with that, I think that pretty much does it. Hey, I defeated a bunch of officers. And with that, Spirit can walk away with low health and a dirty pants. These pants used to be purple. Jeez. And that's pretty much what you do in the overworld. You hunt for stuff, you find a bear? Excuse me? We can find fucking bears out here. Interesting. Okay. Well, considering I showed off a bit of battling, I think we'll call it a part today. This is going to be a very long one, and something tells me these parts are probably going to be this length for most of the time. But yeah, I am excited to finally play this game and finally do a playthrough of it. Seeing at how they've incorporated all of the endgame mechanics, like the multi-jump, the ability to run without stamina, and just kind of trim the fat on the overworld. Yeah, it's still a little barren, but hey, at the very least, it's there, and you don't have to do it. You could literally just fast travel to wherever you want and not have to worry about the overworld whatsoever, which we might do sometimes. But for the most part, I am enjoying this, so I hope you guys enjoy this as well. And join me tomorrow for the next part of Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires. We will hopefully find some more affiliates that we can add to our army, and who knows, we may even join Tao Qian or even the Yellow Turbans, depending on how I feel. See you next time, everybody. Goodbye.